Okay, welcome back, boys and girls. This is our next lesson in numbers and operations, fractions, and you will develop an understanding of fractions as numbers by the end of this series of lessons. In today's lesson, we are going to learn another new thing coming off of what we've already learned. We used candy bars and number lines yesterday, so we are going to build on that, transferring from using the candy bars and number lines to just using the number lines. And then I'm going to show you one more thing because there's another little part to this objective. Okay, so first of all, let's do what we've been doing and define our words. I'll read the objective to you, then we'll define the words, and then I'll show you what it means. Okay, so the objective is represent a fraction, numerator over denominator. Sorry about my D, it looks a little weird. On a number line diagram by marking off lengths 1 over denominator from 0. Okay, so math word that we have seen a lot is fraction. We know those are the numbers between whole numbers. And we have also seen this before, number line diagram, which we are using the open number line. And our action word is represent. So that means we are going to show a fraction. Okay, so here's what it means. Show a fraction, numerator over denominator, on an open number line by marking off lengths 1 over denominator from 0. So this is all stuff we've seen before. We talked about 0 being the starting point yesterday and all that. So here we go. We're going to do this again, but we're just going to take the difficulty up one little tiny bit. Okay, so our first fraction that we are going to show is 2/3. So first I'm going to draw my candy bar. And I draw my open number line underneath. We're not even worried about what the fraction is yet. All we're doing is just making our open number line and our candy bar. We're going to start at the beginning of our candy bar with 0 and the other end of our candy bar at 1. Now, our denominator is our equal parts. So we can see here, I'm casting a little bit of a shadow, it'll be hard to see. This is our denominator, this is our equal parts, so we need 3 equal parts, which means we need 2 vertical lines. So I'll draw 2 vertical lines on my candy bar, then I'm going to mark those vertical lines on my open number line, and then I'm going to color in 2 out of 3 parts on my number line, or on my candy bar, so I know where to put my dot on my number line. So I'm going to color in 1 equal part, and now I'm going to color in 2 equal parts. Now I need to go all the way to the end of my colored in parts, okay, and that's where 2 out of 3 is. So this is 2 out of 3, and I'm going to mark this with a green dot just to be different, and actually it's probably not big enough for you to see, so let me make my line a little bigger, and then I will make my green dot a little bigger. There we go. Now you should be able to see a little better. Okay, and then I'm going to mark that as 2 out of 3. So I've taken all the things I've already learned. My candy bars, my equal parts, 1 out of 3, and another 1 out of 3. I've transferred it to my number line, and this is all stuff we've been learning, and we just moved it up a notch. Yesterday we were only doing 1 out of whatever denominator. Now we're doing different numerators. Okay, so we're going to do another one with the candy bar. We're going to do 5 out of 8. So first I draw my candy bar. I don't need to worry about how many equal parts or anything like that yet. I'm just going to draw my candy bar. I'm going to draw my open number line just slightly longer to make room for my arrows. I'm going to put a line here at the beginning of the candy bar and a line here at the end of the candy bar. This is 0, this is 1. Now, I have 8 equal parts, which means I need 7 vertical lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and they're roughly equal. Remember, it doesn't have to be perfect. It's not art. Okay, so now I have all my vertical lines in my candy bar, but now I need them in my number line, and I have to match them up one for one. So you have to be really careful when you have a lot of lines. So there's the first one, the second one, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 vertical lines, 7 lines dividing up my number line. Okay, now I'm going to color in 5 equal parts, 1 equal part, 2 equal parts, 3 equal parts, 4 equal parts, 5 equal parts. Now, when we first learn how to color in fractions, we often say it doesn't matter which ones you color in. When you're doing number lines, you have to start at the left and work your way over, because remember, you're starting at 0 as your starting point. We talked about that at the end of yesterday's lesson. So you always start at 0 and color in from there. Okay, so this is where my candy bar ends, where my colored part of my candy bar ends. I put my dot there, and I'm going to write my fraction underneath it, 5 out of 8. Okay, let's try 2 or 3 without, actually we're going to do 3 without the candy bar. So we're taking it up a notch. So this is going to be 4 out of 10. So I'm going to draw my open number line. Now if you still need candy bars, feel free to draw your candy bars. But if you're ready to move away from candy bars and you don't want to write so much, here we go. Starting point, end point, 0 and 1. Now, I have 9 equal parts, so I need, or excuse me, 10 equal parts, so I need 9 vertical lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so now I have 10 equal parts because you can see the pieces in here. This would be like a piece of a candy bar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so now I need 4 parts colored in. So if my candy bar were here, I would color in 1, 2, 3, 4. It would be right there. So I'm going to draw my dot. So watch it again. 1, 2, 3, 4. 0 is my starting point. Okay, and that is 4 out of 10. Okay, now remember before I showed you 0 out of whatever denominator and 4, or excuse me, same numerator, same denominator. I'm going to show you that on the number line as well. Okay, so we're going to do 0 out of 3. Here's my number line. I'm not drawing a candy bar this time. But like I said, you can if you want. Okay, I have 3 equal parts, so I need 2 vertical lines. And I'm going to color in 0 equal parts, which means I'm not coming out even to 1. I'm going to be right here. 0 out of 3. You might notice something there, but I'm not going to say anything. We'll talk about it later. Okay, so now let's do another one. Let's do 4 out of 4. Now, I want you just to think for a second. I want you to think if you can predict where that dot's going to be. Let's draw that open number line. 0 and 1. 4 equal parts means 3 vertical lines. 1, 2, 3 vertical lines. And I'm going to color in 4 equal parts. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Right here, I started at 0. 1, 2, 3, 4. So right here is 4 out of 4. Now you're thinking, oh, she didn't mention something important, and I'm not going to. That's for another day. We have another little part of this lesson, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to write the other objective off camera, and then I'll bring you back when it's time for that second part. Okay, the second part of this lesson is to recognize that the resulting interval has the size numerator over denominator and that its endpoint locates the number numerator over denominator on the number line. So let's talk about words we know. We have the word interval from before, and that one was underlined in orange. Okay, we have a new word, endpoint. Okay, and then our action word is to recognize. And we used recognize in the last lesson, and we said that one means notice. And before that, interval, we said means space. And the end point is exactly what it says, the point where it ends. So the point at the end. Now it doesn't mean at the end of your open number line. Okay, it just means the point where you stopped to put your dot down. Okay, could be the end of the open number line, but not always. Okay, so now I'm going to show you what this means. This is a really complicated way to say this. I'm going to do an open number line with 6 equal parts. Notice I make my open number line exactly the same way every single time. Draw the line, put in 0 and 1, then I'm going to divide it up into equal parts. So I'm going to do 6 equal parts. So I need 5 vertical lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not spaced very well, but that's okay. It's math, not art. Okay, and so I know from up here that 0 is the same as 0 out of 3. So here, 0 would be the same as 0 out of 6, because it's 6 equal parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 equal parts. One part, the first part, is 1 out of 6. The second one is 2 out of 6. The next one is 3 out of 6. You may be noticing a little pattern here. 4 out of 6. 5 out of 6. And then, just like we did here, this was 4 out of 4 parts, so this must be 6 out of 6 parts. Okay, so you need to notice that the resulting space has the size numerator over denominator. So this space has the size 1 out of 6, this space has the size 2 out of 6, this space has the size 3 out of 6, this space has the size 4 out of 6, this space has the size 5 out of 6, and this space has the size 6 out of 6. Okay, and that its end point, or the point at the end, locates the number numerator over denominator on the number line. So if I put a dot here, you would say the dot is at 1 out of 6 on the number line. If I put the dot here, you'd say it's at 2 out of 6. Let's back up. If it was here, you could say it's 0 or it's 0 out of 6. Either one would be correct. This end point is 3 out of 6. This end point is 4 out of 6. This end point is 5 out of 6. And this end point is 1 or 6 out of 6. So today we showed a fraction, numerator over denominator, on an open number line by marking off lengths 1 over denominator from, or out of denominator, from 0. We started at 0 and we showed where our fractions were. And then down here we recognize that the resulting space has the size numerator over denominator and that its endpoint locates the number numerator over denominator on the number line.